When I started looking for a job, I never imagined I'd fall into something I couldn't control. I needed a paycheck, a fresh start. Not a distraction. Not a complication. And definitely not someone who would unravel me from the inside out. But after he kissed me that night, everything shifted. The lines blurred. The rules shattered. And suddenly, my world wasn't the same anymore. What began as tension, as an unspoken push and pull, ignited into something undeniable. Something dangerous. It all started when I came to the city just looking for work. The city hit me like a freight train the second I stepped off the bus. Horns blaring, bodies rushing, voices clashing in a chaotic symphony. The smell of exhaust mixed with something greasy and unplaceable coated the air like a layer of grime. This place was alive. Pulsing. Relentless. And I was just another speck swallowed by its towering skyline. My fingers tightened around the strap of my duffel as I tried to get my bearings. Uncle said the bar was downtown, exclusive, tucked between two skyscrapers. Said I'd find it easily. But already, the buildings were blurring together. Glass and steel rising like giants, making me feel small. My phone buzzed in my pocket, yanking me from the haze. Uncle, you there yet? Me, almost. I typed it out even though I had no idea where I was going. Typical me, biting off more than I could chew. Just as I hit send, a motorcycle screamed past, too close, too fast. The wind slapped against me like a whip, throwing me off balance. My heart jumped into my throat. For a second, I thought I might fall. Watch it. I shouted. But the rider didn't even glance back. He kept going, cutting through traffic like he owned the road. Like people like me didn't exist in his world. I steadied myself, cold sweat trickling down my neck. It felt like the city was daring me to lose control. To admit I didn't belong. But I wasn't backing down. Not today. Finally, I spotted it, just as Uncle described. Hidden in plain sight. Sleek. Understated. The kind of place you'd miss unless you were really looking. A black sign with silver lettering hung above the door. Nocturne. No neon. No gimmicks. Just quiet confidence. I squared my shoulders, gripped the handle, and stepped inside. The outside noise vanished the second the door shut. In its place, low conversation, clinking glasses, and the smooth notes of jazz drifting from hidden speakers. Everything about Nocturne screamed expensive. Refined. Out of my league. Dim lighting cast long shadows over polished mahogany tables. The bar itself, sleek marble, lined with top-shelf liquor. The people were exactly what I expected. Tailored suits, designer dresses, money in their veins. And then there was me. Worn boots and a thrift store jacket, already feeling like I didn't belong. Before I could turn and bolt, a woman behind the bar caught my eye. "You must be Ethan," she said, drying her hands with a towel. She was tall, effortlessly cool, her black hair pulled into a low ponytail. I nodded, trying to sound more confident than I felt. "Yeah. That's me. Have a seat. Lucas will be with you in a minute." Lucas. The boss. I took a breath and slid onto a bar stool, pressing my hands against my jeans to keep them from shaking. Then I felt it. A presence. A shadow fell over me before a voice, low, smooth, edged with something sharp, cut through the space between us. "Ethan, right?" I turned. And, damn. Lucas stood there, tall, broad-shouldered, magnetic. He wore a black dress shirt, sleeves rolled up just enough to show off strong forearms. Veins faintly visible beneath the skin. His gray eyes studied me, calm, intense. His jaw sharp, dark hair perfectly tousled, and lips caught in a near smirk. He didn't ask for attention. He just had it. I stood up, too fast, nearly knocking over the stool. "Yeah, that's me," I said, reaching out to shake his hand. His grip was firm. Confident. The kind that told you he was in control, and knew it. Glad you made it, he said, voice polite but layered with something else. He gestured toward a small table in the back. Let's see what you've got. I followed, my pulse pounding in my chest. As soon as we sat down, Lucas flipped through my resume without looking at me. His movements slow, deliberate. Like he already knew his decision but wanted me to sweat. You've got some experience, he said finally, setting the paper aside. That's good. But working here, it's not just about pouring drinks. I sat straighter. I can handle it. Lucas leaned back, arms folding across his chest. We'll see about that. The test came fast. He slid an order slip across the table. Make these. I scanned the list, 5 drinks. Each one different. Complicated. Some I'd made before. Others, I'd have to trust my instincts. I moved behind the bar, feeling the weight of his gaze. My hands worked fast. Grabbing bottles, measuring, shaking, pouring. The first drink went down smooth. The second, rushed. The third, almost perfect. By the time I finished, my heart was racing. I slid the last glass forward and met his eyes. He picked one up and took a slow sip. For a second, I swear I saw the corner of his mouth twitch. Just barely. Almost like he was impressed. Then he set the glass down. Not bad. I exhaled, relief flooding through me. But before I could celebrate, he fixed me with a look. You're not getting special treatment. If you work here, you keep up, or you're out. Understood? I nodded. Understood. He held my gaze a moment longer. Then with a flick of his wrist, he gestured toward the bar. You start now. Tonight, hours later, I'm behind the bar watching Nocturne come alive. Wealthy patrons spill in, ordering top-shelf cocktails and murmuring about deals, portfolios, investments. Lucas moves through the space like he owns it, because he does. Effortless. Unshakable. And every so often, I catch him watching me. Testing me. At first, I thought I was imagining it. But then his gaze lingers. I feel it when he corrects my grip on a shaker. His fingers brushing mine, a spark shooting up my arm. I feel it when he stands too close. When his voice drops just a little lower than necessary. I told myself it was nothing. But something about the way Lucas watches me, pushes me, feels different. And something about the way my pulse reacts to him feels dangerous. The first few nights at Nocturne are a blur. Noise, fast hands, non-stop orders. I barely have time to breathe before another drink's being called. Another glass shoved into my hands. It's brutal. And Lucas? He's relentless. Every time I think I've found my rhythm, he's there. Watching, correcting, pushing harder than I thought possible. You're slow, he says one night, brushing past me to grab a bottle from the shelf. Pick it up. I grit my teeth, swallow the frustration. Seconds later, he's back. And your pour's off. If a drink isn't consistent, customers notice. You don't get second chances here. I exhale sharply, trying not to let it get under my skin. I'm doing my best, I say. Lucas shoots me a sideways glance, lips twitching like he's enjoying this too much. Do better. I clench my jaw and force my focus back to the drinks. It's not just that he's strict. It's how he does it. Always watching, always a step ahead. Knowing just how much to push before I break. And the worst part? I can't stop noticing him. The way he moves, sharp, deliberate. The way his sleeves are always rolled just enough to show the lean muscle in his forearms as he shakes a cocktail. The way his voice dips low when he leans in to give directions. Too close, too intimate for a workplace. I tell myself it's just intimidation. That I'm overthinking it. But then. Fix your collar, he mutters one night, just as the rush slows. Before I can react, his fingers are at my throat. Cool and steady, brushing against my skin as he straightens my tie. Smooths the fold of my shirt. Like it matters to him. I go rigid. Lucas doesn't step away. His knuckles graze my skin, barely. I swallow hard, my pulse jumping. There, he says, his voice smooth. His hands still lingering. Now you look like you belong here. I can't find words. He steps back, that smirk tugging at his mouth. Like he knows exactly what just happened. Like he's testing me. And I hate that it's working. By the end of the week, I'm done. Not with the job. God, I need this job. But I'm done with Lucas breathing down my neck. Critiquing every move, never letting up. I snap. It's late, end of a long shift. He's been on me all night, pushing, correcting, challenging me in ways that feel way too personal. I slam the shaker onto the counter, turning toward him. What is your problem? My voice comes out low, tight, raw. Lucas arches a brow, completely unfazed. Excuse me? You've been riding me all week, I say, stepping closer. I'm busting my ass, and it's still not enough. What do you want from me? The bar's almost empty now, just a few stragglers left. The air between us goes thick. Heavy. Charged with something I can't name. Lucas tilts his head slightly, watching me with those unreadable gray eyes. Then he smirks. You tell me. I freeze. Because suddenly this isn't about cocktails or expectations. It's the way he looks at me. Like he's waiting for me to see something I haven't yet. Like he's been waiting for this. He steps in, just slightly. His body almost brushing mine. My breath stutters. My hands curl into fists at my sides. Not from anger anymore. But from something else entirely. Lucas watches every reaction. Like he's dissecting me. Like he knows something I don't. And that scares the hell out of me. I tear my gaze away, shake my head. Forget it. Lucas doesn't follow. Just gives me that same infuriating smirk. And steps back. Sure, Ethan. But the way he says my name. Slow, deliberate, like it means something. Sticks with me. That night, I try to shake it off. I throw myself into work. Pouring drinks, clearing tables, avoiding his eyes. And then trouble walks in. A group of guys, loud, already half drunk, take over a booth near the back. At first, they're just obnoxious. Slurring their orders. Laughing too loudly. But then one of them starts getting handsy. Grabbing at a waitress. Blocking her path when she tries to walk away. My pulse spikes. I should ignore it. It's not my job. But when I see her flinch, discomfort plain on her face. Something in me snaps. I move. Hey, I say, stepping between them. She's working. Leave her alone. The guy, broad, sloppy, shirt unbuttoned too far, leans back, sizing me up. Oh yeah, he slurs. And who the hell are you? I stand firm. The guy who'll throw you out if you touch her again. He laughs, a mean, ugly sound. You think you can throw me out? And then, he grabs my wrist. I freeze. My heartbeat spikes. A flash of panic. Then, before I can react, Lucas is there. I don't even see him move. 1 second he's behind the bar. The next. He's right in front of me, gripping the guy's wrist with a calm that's somehow more terrifying than rage. Unshakable. That's what he is. The room shifts. Lucas doesn't speak at first, he just stares the guy down, something dangerous flickering in his eyes. Then, in a low, steady voice, he says, "You touch one of my employees again, and I'll personally make sure you never step foot in this bar, or any other, ever again." The guy hesitates. Lucas doesn't. His grip tightens, just slightly. Not enough to hurt, but enough to send a clear message. The guy lets go of me instantly, muttering curses under his breath as his friends pull him away, dragging him out before it escalates. The second they're gone, Lucas turns to me. His expression shifts. Not angry. Something else. You okay? He asks. I nod, still too stunned to speak. Lucas watches me for a long moment. Then his eyes flick down to where the guy grabbed my wrist. Before I can stop him, his fingers brush the spot. Gentle. Too gentle. I swallow hard. I had it under control, I mutter. Lucas smirks. Sure you did. But his hand lingers. I pull back, too fast. Lucas doesn't stop me. But the smirk fades, just slightly, like he wasn't expecting me to move away. The air between us is suffocating. And that night, as we close up the bar, I feel it hanging thick and silent between us. Lucas works in silence. So do I. But when our eyes meet across the empty space, I know this tension, whatever it is. It's not going away. And maybe. I don't want it to. The nights at Nocturne start to blur. Chaos, noise, the constant rhythm of pouring drinks and fielding conversations. They all melt into a rhythm. One I've finally learned to keep up with. My hands move faster now. My instincts sharper. Even Lucas has stopped nitpicking everything I do. But the tension? That's only gotten worse. It's in the way his gaze lingers a little too long. The way he stands just a bit too close when he doesn't need to. It's in the quiet moments. After the rush has died down, when the bar is still and the silence hums between us like static. At first, I told myself I was imagining it. That it was just part of his style, his way of keeping me on edge. But the longer I'm here, the harder it is to lie to myself. Lucas isn't watching me like a boss watches his staff. It's different. It's deliberate. And the worst part? I like it. Tonight is no different. The bar's finally empty. The soft hum of jazz plays in the background, and the faint clink of glasses echoes as we clean. I should be exhausted. But my mind won't slow down. Not with him across from me. Lucas hasn't said much tonight, but I feel his gaze. Watching, waiting. I pretend not to notice, stacking clean glasses with extra focus. Then he speaks. You're getting better, he says. Voice smooth. Casual. Almost like you belong here. I glance up, suspicious. Almost. Lucas smirks. Don't get cocky. I roll my eyes, shaking my head. You'd probably still find something to complain about even if I were perfect. He leans against the counter, eyes sharp, unreadable. You like proving yourself to me, don't you? The air shifts. My hands freeze around the glass I'm holding. The words shouldn't mean anything. Just another one of his games. But his tone, low, teasing, sends a slow burn through me. And I hate that he's right. I do like proving myself to him. I like how he watches. How he pushes. Like he expects more. I set the glass down and force a laugh. You're full of yourself. Lucas raises an eyebrow. Am I wrong? I don't answer. I can't. And that silence? It's a mistake. Lucas moves. Not fast. Not aggressive. Just one calculated step closer. My breath catches. My pulse hammers in my chest. Tell me I'm wrong, he says, quiet but firm. I should laugh it off. Tell him he's imagining things. That the tension isn't real. But I don't. Because I can't. Lucas watches me, waiting. Then, before I can think, he leans in. Testing me. His face inches from mine. His breath warm on my skin. His fingers lift, brushing my jaw. Soft. questioning. He's waiting to see if I'll pull away. I don't. And then he kisses me. It's not gentle. It's not hesitant. It's heat and pressure. Sharp and deliberate. Like we've both been holding back too long. My brain short-circuits. I don't even react at first, too shocked. But then I do. I kiss him back. A low sound escapes his throat as his hand slides to the back of my neck, pulling me closer. My fingers curl into his shirt. Gripping like I'll fall if I let go. The bar disappears. The job disappears. Everything disappears. It's just him. His mouth on mine. His body pressing closer. And the overwhelming truth. I want this more than I should. His other hand moves to my waist, gripping just tight enough to steal my breath. The scent of him, clean, sharp, faintly whiskey and cologne, clouds every thought. Every logical part of me screams to stop. That this is reckless. A mistake. He's my boss. But logic is nowhere to be found. The kiss deepens. Slow, unrelenting. Like he's peeling away whatever hesitation I had left. His lips press harder. His fingers tighten. And a soft sound escapes me, uncontrolled, involuntary. It's too much. Too intense. Too real. And then I panic. I break the kiss. Step back fast, like I've been burned. Lucas doesn't chase me. He just stands there, breathing hard, eyes dark, unreadable. I stare at him. Heart pounding. Hands trembling. What the hell did I just do? 1,000 thoughts crash into each other. This is my boss. My job. This can't happen. Lucas watches me, his expression maddeningly calm. Then he smirks. You started it, he says. Voice low, smooth, almost amused. I just finished it. I shake my head, still too stunned to speak. He doesn't look away. And suddenly, I know. This changes everything. I tell myself it was a mistake. A moment of weakness. But that lie doesn't last long. Because the next night at Nocturne, everything feels different. The air is heavier. Charged. It lingers in every glance. Every brush of movement. Every silence stretched just a second too long. Lucas acts normal. Or as normal as he ever does. He calls out orders. Moves through the bar with practiced ease. Keeps his words clipped and professional. But beneath it, he's watching me. I feel it in the way his gaze tracks me across the room. The way he stands too close when he doesn't have to. The way his smirk lingers just a beat too long when I fumble a bottle. He doesn't mention the kiss. Doesn't push. He doesn't have to. I try to act normal too. Pretend I'm not affected every time he brushes past me. His fingers skimming my back. His arm grazing mine as he reaches for a glass. I try to ignore how my breath catches when he leans in. His voice dropping low. Table 5. Neat whiskey. He murmurs, standing so close I feel his breath on my skin. My spine goes rigid. My grip tightens around the glass. He's doing it on purpose. I should say something. Call him out. Tell him to stop. But I don't. Because as much as it frustrates me, as much as it makes my pulse spike and my thoughts spiral into dangerous places, I don't want him to stop. And that's the problem. I crave it. The push. The challenge. The game. And I go further. Because the second kiss? It's not an accident. I start it. Back in the storage room. Late. Quiet. Just us. Lucas moves like he always does. Deliberate. Teasing. Controlled. Every time he reaches past me, his fingers graze mine. And every time they do, something inside me tightens. It's infuriating. This slow burn. This constant pull building towards something I can't ignore anymore. Before I can think. Before I can talk myself out of it. I grab him. His back hits the shelves with a soft thud. A sharp inhale slipping from his lips. As I press against him, my fists clenching in the fabric of his shirt. He doesn't stop me. Doesn't smirk. Doesn't throw out some cocky line like I expect. He just watches me. Quiet, still. Waiting. Daring me. And then I kiss him. It's rougher this time. Urgent. Unrestrained. Nothing like the first. My fingers tighten in his shirt. Pulling him closer. Feeling the heat of his mouth. And the way his body presses back into mine. Why does this feel more dangerous than it should? Why does he feel like more than just a mistake? Lucas responds instantly. His hands slide to my waist. Gripping with a force that sends a jolt of heat through me. He kisses me back with equal hunger. Pushing forward until my back hits the opposite shelf. Bottles rattle behind me, but I barely notice. All I can feel is his mouth. Hot, demanding, relentless. His hands move lower. Fingertips digging into my hips. Drawing a sharp breath from my chest. A quiet, unintentional sound slips from me. And Lucas answers with a low, guttural noise. His grip tightening. As he deepens the kiss. His tongue brushing against mine. Sending heat through every nerve ending. It's messy. It's reckless. And it's addictive. My heart is pounding. Faster than it has in a long time. For the first time in what feels like forever. I feel alive. But somewhere, buried beneath the rush. A quiet voice warns me. This is dangerous. This could ruin everything. I don't know how long we stay like that. Tangled up in heat and desperation. Bodies pressed close. Mouths hungry and breathless. But then. Footsteps. Lucas reacts instantly, pulling away just as the door swings open. I barely step back in time before Mia, one of the bartenders, pokes her head in. There you guys are, she says, completely unaware. Lucas, I need you up front for a sec. Lucas clears his throat. His voice is maddeningly steady. Be right there. I stay frozen, trying to calm my breathing. My heart still thundering in my chest. For a second, I wonder. Was this a huge mistake? Or something I've been needing without even realizing it? As the door clicks shut behind her. The weight of what just happened sinks in. I've crossed a line. And I can't uncross it. Mia's footsteps fade. Silence fills the room. I'm still catching my breath. My lips tingling. My pulse erratic. Lucas just smirks. Casually straightening his shirt like nothing happened. That was close, he says. His voice low, dark, amused. I glare at him. Shut up. But he just chuckles. And steps forward again. Crowding me against the shelf. His mouth barely an inch from mine. You like the risk, don't you? He murmurs. His breath warm against my cheek. I don't answer. Because he's right. The thrill of secrecy only makes it worse. More intoxicating. And that kiss? That moment? It's just the beginning. After that night, we can't stop. It happens in stolen moments. Hidden corners of the bar. After hours. Whenever we can get away with it. Sometimes it's quick. Desperate. A stolen kiss in a shadowed hallway. Lucas grabbing my wrist and pulling me behind a wall. His mouth crashing into mine, stealing my breath. Other times it's slower. More dangerous. Drawn-out touches in the storeroom. Fingertips mapping familiar paths. Bodies pressed together. Whispers exchanged in shallow breaths. We keep promising to be careful. But the truth is, I don't want to be. And neither does Lucas. The first time we almost get caught is on a Friday. Just after closing. The rest of the staff is gone. It's just us, finishing the cleanup. The air is thick with tension. It happens fast. 1 second I'm behind the bar stacking glasses. The next Lucas is behind me. His hands at my waist. His breath hot at the back of my neck. I shudder. My grip tightening around the glass. Someone could walk in, I murmur. My voice already shaky. Lucas smirks against my skin. Then you better keep quiet. But I don't. I turn. Grab his collar. And crash my mouth onto his. The kiss is raw. Needy. Dangerous. His hands slide lower. Pulling me against him. Stealing what little air I have left. A soft sound escapes me. Muffled against his lips. And Lucas groans in response. His grip tightening. Then. The door creaks. We break apart instantly. Turning just in time to see one of the waitresses step inside. She doesn't seem to notice anything. But my pulse is racing. Lucas? He just chuckles under his breath. Adjusting his shirt like it's nothing. But when our eyes meet across the bar. I know. This is dangerous. We need to stop. We should stop. But we won't. Because the truth is. I don't want to. And neither does he. I keep telling myself this thing between us is nothing. Just a distraction. A reckless game. Something that will burn out before it can become real. But that lie's getting harder to hold on to. Because I want more. And that terrifies me. These past few weeks have been a blur. Stolen touches. Whispered breaths. Kisses that leave me breathless. And aching for more. We keep pushing every boundary. Testing how far we can go. We keep pushing. Further and further. Testing how close we can get before someone notices. Before the tension gives us away. Before the space between us finally snaps. I try to ignore how Lucas pulls me aside just to touch me. How he steals kisses when no one's looking. Like he can't help himself. I pretend not to see the way his grip tightens on my waist. When someone flirts with me at the bar. His jaw clenching. Even when he acts like it doesn't bother him. I try to brush off how his eyes darken. Whenever I talk to someone else for too long. How he always finds an excuse to interrupt. To remind them, and me. Where my attention really belongs. Lucas acts like this is nothing. Like it's just fun, just secret. Something we can keep tucked neatly out of sight. Controlled. Containable. But his actions say something else entirely. And so do mine. Because the truth is. I don't want it to stop. And that's the problem. Something has to give. It comes out of nowhere. Gary, the owner of Nocturne, calls me into his office before my shift. We've only spoken a few times in passing. So when he asks me to sit down, I know something big is coming. You've been doing good work, he says, leaning back in his chair. Lucas speaks highly of you. I try not to react to that. Try not to let the words land too deep. But they do. The idea of Lucas talking about me behind closed doors. Saying my name when I'm not around. It does something to me. Gary continues. We're opening a new lounge. VIP only. I want you to step up. More responsibility. You'd be working directly under Lucas. More pay. More influence. What do you think? I freeze. Because this is everything I've been working toward. A chance to prove myself. To show I belong here. But working directly under Lucas? That's a whole different kind of risk. Take your time, Gary says, sliding a folder across the desk. But don't take too long. A lot of people would kill for this spot. I nod. But my thoughts are already spinning. Because I already know what I want. I just don't know if I'm ready to risk everything to take it. That night, everything feels heavier. The secret. The touches. The way Lucas brushes against me behind the bar like he owns me. I should tell him about the offer. I should talk to him. But I don't. Because I know what he'll say. And I know he'll push me toward a choice I'm not sure I'm ready to make. The bar is packed. A Friday night crowd, buzzing, pulsing with movement. I'm behind the counter, pretending not to feel Lucas watching me. And then it happens. A customer, drunk, cocky, too familiar, leans across the bar and slurs at me. You're new, right? I like the way you work. I give a polite nod, trying to move on. But his hand catches my wrist. Lingering. Something sharp cuts through the air. Possessive. Unwelcome. Then Lucas is there. He steps between us, his body a shield. Tense, steady, silent. The guy blinks, raising his hands. Chill, man. I was just talking. Lucas's voice is cold steel. He's busy. The customer scoffs, muttering as he stumbles away. But Lucas doesn't move. Not right away. And when he finally turns to me, his eyes are burning. Are you in or out? His voice is low. Rough. Dangerously calm. Because if you are, I don't do half measures. The words hit like a punch to the chest. Because he's not just talking about the job. He's talking about us. Suddenly, everything I'd been avoiding comes crashing down. I could walk away. Play it safe. Or I could take the risk. There's no turning back. The world fades. It's just him. Just me. Just this moment. Lucas steps closer. His fingers brushing my wrist. Right where that guy grabbed me. His touch is light. But it sparks something deep. I see the way you look at me, he murmurs. The way you react when I touch you. I swallow, pulse racing. You pretend this is nothing. But it's not. His voice drops lower. Almost a whisper. So tell me, Ethan. Are you in? My breath catches. Because I already made my choice. The moment I kissed him back. The moment I let him in. I step forward. My heart pounding. And then I kiss him. Right there. In the middle of the bar. It's reckless. It's public. And I don't care. Lucas doesn't hesitate. His hands are on me instantly. Pulling me in. Kissing me like he's been waiting his whole life for this moment. The bar is still noisy. The crowd's still buzzing. But none of it matters. He kisses me like he's claiming something that already belongs to him. And I let him. When we finally break apart, I'm breathless. My head is spinning. My chest is tight. Lucas's gaze doesn't waver. It's heated. Certain. No more games, he says. I nod, exhaling. No more games. He holds my gaze. And in his eyes, I see something I'm not ready to name. But it's there. Real. Undeniable. We'll figure it out, he says, his voice calm. Like the storm we're walking into doesn't scare him. Like he's already made peace with it. But have I? The reality crashes in. What we've done. What we've started. Can't be taken back. No more pretending. No more denying. I don't know where this is going. Don't know how to explain it. Or protect it. Or survive it. Because the world won't understand. People will judge. It could cost us everything. But the choice is simple. Even if it feels impossible. Walk away. Live with the ache of what might have been. Or step into the unknown. Into something that might ruin us. Or change everything.